Hello and welcome to yet another episode of PARICHAYA, an interview series which is being hosted in the university YouTube channel VICE-CHANCELLOR. And today we have a renowned guest, and he is also an academician and Vice-Chancellor of BURDWAN University, West Bengal, Professor GOUTAM CHANDRA. And he's a man of zoology and who has completed his MSc, PhD and DSc in zoology. And he has been the Vice Chancellor of BURDWAN University for some time now. So let us welcome Professor GOUTAM CHANDRA to our show. Welcome, sir, to VICE-CHANCELLOR, our university YouTube channel. Sir, since you are in Odisha and must be frequently visiting Odisha, so since you are in our university, we would like to start our conversation from your personal journey. How has been your childhood and so far and so forth?
Actually, this is a long story because I am 61 now. So, during my childhood, actually, my father was an employee of railway, Bingdian Railway. So I used to live in railway quarters, and actually I was one elder sister. So my playing partners were most of the guards. Most of them were guards. So when I little grew up in class 4 or 5, then I got a few my boyfriends like this in my campus. And I was fond of playing football. Okay, so I frequently go to the field. My mother used to tell me not to go for football playing because it is injurious for legs and everything. But without informing her, I always always went to football grounds and used to play. I have played for my class team, my school team also. So I was fond of football. I was also very much fond of singing. I used to hear songs from my childhood, and sometimes I would sing with my sister and my friends also. So when I passed Madhyamik examination in 1978, so that time it was very difficult to get first division in at that time. Actually, especially I don't know the scenario of Odisha, but in West Bengal particularly, it was very difficult to get first division in those times. Like in 1978, actually, the Madhyamik Pariksha actually it was initiated in 1976. So we were the third batch. So I got first division in Madhyamik. So it was a very good occasion for our family, for our friends also. They all came and congratulated me for getting first division in 1978. After that, I completed my 12th class in Ravrat. That was actually a Mofusal town in Birbhum district of West Bengal. There is Rampurat. Yes, that was a subdivisional town. So first Rampurat school, then 11th to at Rampurat college, then BSc honors in zoology from Vidyasagar College under the University of Bardwan. So Vidyasagar College was situated actually at Siuri. Siuri is the district town of Birbhum district. So I passed zoology honors in 1983. At that time, session was very delayed, and we got admitted into MSc classes on the University of Bardwan in the December of 1984. So there was a gap of 1.5 years. Actually, the session was delayed. So I passed MSc in 1987, in the May of 1987. So actually I was not very interested to conduct a research, to go into the research. So one day I was going to research scholar hostel to collect some questions of forest examination, Indian forest examinations, because I got the information that a few of my senior elders were residing in the research scholar hostel, they appeared in the first examination. So I was going through a university campus to the university hostel, research scholar hostel, to collect previous year question of forest examination. Suddenly, I met with one of my very senior teachers, Professor Giridhari Mojumdar. He asked, "Gautam, where are you going?" So I am going to research scholar hostel. Why? Then I told my intention. No, you should do research. So do one thing, you come Thursday. That was actually Monday. You come Thursday to my department, visit me. So I first that day I went to the hostel and collected some few questions, and I was determined to sit for the forest examination. But Professor Mojumdar told me on Thursday that the admission for PhD admission is closed in this year for BURDWAN University. If you please visit to Calcutta School of Tropical Medicine as well as the Geological Survey of India at Kolkata head office. And there are two of my friends, Professor Anil Kumar Khati and Professor Anil Mondal. Meet them and try to get a fellowship there. Then first I went to Calcutta School of Tropical Medicine. But there was a half dawn actually at the entry of the room of Professor Anil Kumar Khati. So actually I was a boy from actually a village. Yes. So I was hesitating to enter into the room. What will be the result? I don't know, because he's a big professor. He's the director of Calcutta School of Tropical Medicine. So I was waiting for a long time. Nearly after 2 hours, one of my senior elder from the University of BURDWAN, he came out. And he asked me, "What are you doing here?" Because I came here to talk with Professor Kumar Khati, whether it is possible. But no, he is very busy. You come to my room. I went with him and I came to know that there is vacancy of 2 positions, research scholar position under Professor Khati, and that is under an ICMR project. So he told me that you come a few days later and come and apply for that post. So after 15-20 days, I came again to Calcutta School of Tropical Medicine, and that time the advertisement was on the notice board. I applied appeared for the interview, and I don't know, I was lucky I got a chance to research under Professor FAKIR Mohan. Actually, he was a very renowned malariologist, and he did a lot of work on mosquito research and sandfly research, which is the vector of Pavazaj in India and many other places. So I started research in 1987. I completed my PhD work by 1991. At that time, there was a vacancy of post of lecturer in the my department of zoology of the University of BURDWAN. I applied and appeared for the interview. For one post, there were 54 candidates. All of them came, many of them were very senior. So I don't know what will be the result. So finally, I was in tension. Finally, one fine morning, I got that letter that I have been selected for that post, and I am lucky enough actually, because out of 54 very good candidates, I got a chance, because at that time I had published 17 publications in different foreign and international and national journals, and also did well in the interview. There is no question. So I got the service actually. So when I started my journey as a teacher, it was difficult for me, because before that I didn't teach any college in a school like that. So I was apprentice at that time. So gradually I started, and some of my teachers, actually all the 15 faculty members were my teachers at that time. I am the 16th one, and all the 15 teachers are my teachers there in the department. So a few of them were helpful, gave me a few notes. They also left a few classes for me also. They would take this note, be prepared, take my class. So in this way I started, and actually when I was in college, a new teacher was appointed there, and he taught us the histological, to make histological slides and everything. You know, the histology, the pathology that they usually as doctors do, histology, section of the tissue of the rat tissues, etc. So I learned histology very well in my college classes. So when I started practical classes in the department, one of my teachers who used to taught histology, he told me, Gautam, your performance was very good during your student life, so you please take the class of histology. So he left the class and gave me the class. That's how your teaching career started. Started with the practical of histology. It is called microtechnique. Another name of histology is microtechnique. And the teaching with some minor phyla like foraminifera like this, those are not very interesting. Now one of them was dating of rocks with carbon dating, etc. That was somewhat interesting. In this I started gradually, and actually I was in preparation that I have to teach well. Anyhow, I have to teach well.
So you have been in the field of research since a very long period of time.
And until today, my teaching career is 33 years old, and I have guided 33 PhD students. So on an average, one student per year.
So what kind of prospects do you see, especially when it comes to Odisha in the field of geology?
Actually, Odisha, there's a lot of civil. Odisha is my very favorite place. From my childhood, I used to come to Puri with my family. I climbed on the Ratha of the Jagannath in my childhood. So many things, there are many things that I can remember for the Puri and Odisha. And when you will see my career, I did my PhD from Calcutta School of Rock and Medicine, but I did my DSc from Sambhalpur University. Oh, and till today my registration is there. So till today I have a student of Odisha of Sambhalpur University. My registration is now prevailing still. So at Sambhalpur University. Because at that time our university was 4+, and according to NAC accreditation, and Sambhalpur was also 4+. So actually I wanted to keep the thing of doing DSc to keep away from my friends. So I choose Sambhalpur University, very similar to BURDWAN. And it was very fine that I had to pay only a fees of 3,000 rupees only for registration. I had to pay not a price further for getting a DSc degree from Sambhalpur University. So nice university, so nice administration there. So how this
Burdwan and Sambhalpur, they are lots in that way.
It was similarity means actually the prospect of both the universities are very similar, because according to NAC accreditation, this is 4+, 4+, and Sambhalpur was also 4+ at that time when I submitted my DSc in 2004. But it took 5 years to get the degree. I got the degree in 2009 only. So that is actually recognition for my work in the field of mosquito control. So very first I started my work with epidemiology of different diseases like malaria, filariasis, Japanese encephalitis, Kala-Azar, etc. Then I did work on the vectors, the biology of the vectors, and how to control of these things. And my focus was actually, my function is to control mosquitoes, to control mosquito-borne diseases like dengue, malaria, etc. So for this reason, what I submitted to Sambhalpur University, actually that was a great piece of work on mosquito control. So I got recognition and got the degree from
Software in 2000. So interesting to know all of your joys through his.
I have come Utkal University in the 6th SEM, Anusandhan, Sambhalpur University, the Ravenshaw College of Cuttack many times to conduct PhD after and before that.
Right now, how long you have been in the VICE?
For 11 months, really long, for the last 11.
So how challenging
it was highly challenging in West Bengal. They have they have broken on the existing infrastructure of the university, the examination system, everything, and they have actually given to the outsider, the TCS like company to conduct all these things of examination, results, etc. And now we're completely dependent on those people.
Yeah.
This is one thing. Another thing, we have money, but we are not able to pay money to those companies.
So, so how has been your experience being in this industry?
In this university, it is actually very fine. Actually, I conducted a PhD degree, PhD Viva Voce in Bhubaneswar at SOA, yesterday. And in this time, I thought that I would not go to Puri. Usually, I go to Puri from Bhubaneswar. In this time, I will go to Balasore for the first time in my life, and I requested the PhD guide, Professor Pari, was the research guide of the person whom I conducted PhD examination. I requested him to arrange one room in the guest house of Balasore University, because the vice-chancellor here was not acknowledged. Professor Pari requested another professor, retired professor, and told him to arrange a room for me here. He actually made a phone call to the vice-chancellor here. And as soon as he got the information, he tell him to deliver the talk here. So I am highly honored. I agreed to deliver a talk on dengue and prevention, AIDS prevention. So I am here today. I am literally, it is mind blowing. The people are so friendly here. And many of us very familiar to me also.
Yes.
So Monojit is there in the, actually I conducted his PhD. I have seen the Sabur University.
So regarding this dengue and other is vector-borne diseases, no, is it called, right? So what is your assessment when it comes to Odisha and particularly Baleswar?
Actually, it will take time to get experience about the condition of the dengue condition like this virtually, because I have to do some survey to find out whether the containers, small containers having rainwater, these are scattered throughout the campus, but outside the campus, they are present or not. These are the very important things.
But mosquito-borne diseases are quite common in West Bengal, I mean.
No, it is very common in throughout India. It was once upon a time this Moilganj, there are some other places also full of malaria. So malaria is still present here because in some pockets of the tribal areas, Moilganj, Gyanjor, in those area, highly endemic for malaria once upon a time. So government is doing well. And gradually they are trying to combat the disease, to control the disease with the control of mosquitoes.
And how we can tackle those problems?
For malaria, actually there is one of my elder brother, he is also an alumnus of Burdwan University, Dr. S.K. Kos. Today I have got one information from him that the Karnataka government, he lives in Bangalore. So Karnataka government, after his retirement, has appointed him as the advisor for mosquito control in Karnataka. So what he did once upon a time, he used one fish, guppy fish. That is actually an exotic fish outside of India, originated in West Indies 110 years ago. So gradually the efficacy of that fish was established, and he used that particular fish in throughout Karnataka to control Anopheles mosquitoes, and there is a very good result. And after that, the government actually identified that person, and still is getting honor from the government because for malaria, there are a few fishes like guppy, gambusia like this, and recently we have reported another fish which is called in Bengal, it is techoko fish, because there's one spot on the upper surface of the fish. It looks like a fish, so it looks they have three eyes. So techoko fish, scientifically it is called Aplochilus penchans. So we have reported as very indigenous efficacious fish. So all these can be used in the bonds. They should be allowed to breed in large numbers to control mosquito attack. So this is for Anopheles. But for the dengue, as the Aedes mosquitoes, which is the vector of dengue, they are actually container breeding habit. They have. So as they have container breeding habit, they breed, their breeding places have had it. They're sometimes inaccessible. So it is very difficult to find out all the breeding places. And what we have to do, we should not use any biological control agent. We should not use any other chemical also to kill dengue mosquitoes. Just we have to do one thing. Whether there is anything, suppose there is water in this container, and dengue mosquito can breed it. So if I find water in this container, we have to keep it in this one. The only thing we should do for dengue mosquitoes to give invited of the containers that it cannot contaminate rainwater.
Okay.
So this is the most important thing for dengue vectors.
Within the household.
Within the household, within the outskirts also. So I have reported today in the lecture what the presence of discarded tires. I have published a paper. One single discarded tire can contain 13 to 50 liters of rainwater. And one single tire filled with rainwater can breed 4,000 Aedes mosquitoes in 1 month. Only a single tire.
Yes.
So if you can find a huge number of discarded tires outside, just the side of the road, so you can imagine how many mosquitoes can be generated from the sources. So these are containers outside outskirts. These are artificial containers. There are tree holes. These are natural containers, bamboo holes, etc. And these are there being plastic pots, many things. So we should be very cautious about the things that water cannot be accumulated for 7 days, 10 days. Yes.
Yes. And sir, because since you are a man of zoology, I should ask you another. I should not try to move from you, because our students are there who are actually who would be interested to do research in the field of biology, and there are so many aspiring students who would like to take up research at their career. So what will be your advice for them, those who work for your emerging researchers?
Actually, sometimes it seems that there is no scope, good scope for job for the research workers. Sometimes the people of the teacher, students, they think, but we always motivate them to research, to conduct a research, because once a student is entered into the field of research, and until we conduct research in a particular field, he cannot be a good teacher. I usually teach in my class mentioning my reference, mentioning my work. That is not possible if I go through a book and go to the class and if I teach. So a good teacher must be a good researcher. So I always motivate my students, and I usually in the class I used to tell stories. So story of Leeuwenhoek. Leeuwenhoek is the father of microbiology, and he was simply a janitor, a guard of an auditorium. Leeuwenhoek actually was the janitor, a guard of an auditorium of a city. In the off time, he used to collect pieces of glasses, and he used to rub glasses with papers, clothes, etc. And after a few days, he found that the glasses have got magnifying power. After rubbing with something, then he again rub, and in his lifetime, he produced 250 microscope in his lifetime. And through the microscope discovered by himself, he found the microorganisms in a drop of blood, in a drop of urine, in a drop of saliva, in a drop of water. And he gave the name animalcule, the first name of the microorganisms. So being a janitor of an auditorium, he became the father of microbiology. So this is the story. Usually I used to tell all this story within the class to motivate my students that you are students of MSc classes. Even a janitor can be the father of a subject. So there is every scope that you can do it. So they are motivated actually. Usually they come to me to contact research, but there are restrictions. We can take only 8 students being a professor. But my colleagues are also very good researchers. So we try to provide as many of them, and they also try for the outside of Burdwan University. And my student with the students of university, they are doing well. They are also a good number in their world.
Yes, very inspiring, sir. Your journey has been very inspiring, and I'm sure her viewers, whoever is going to watch this conversation, they will certainly draw some kind of inspiration from your work and your experience. And with this, we would like to.
And as one thing I should add, that some kind of sacrifice is needed actually in the life. If I want to do something, if I going on enjoying everything, then it is not possible. So there is a kind of sacrifice in the life to get into the goal actually. So this is very important lesson of my life.
Yes, and you mentioned that to be a good teacher, you need to, or one need to be a good researcher, etc. So with this, we would like to conclude, and thanks for joining us, and thanks for visiting our university. And I'm sure all of our viewers and the students will be certainly benefited from your experiences that you have shared with us. And that is what we have today. And with this, we conclude this conversation with Professor GOUTAM CHANDRA, who is the Vice-Chancellor of Burdwan University. And thank you very much. Thank you.